Welcome to Bigger Than You, the podcast to help you go from overwhelm, self-doubt and scarcity in your business to the calm, grounded and unshakably confident version of you that's going to bring your vision to life. You've got a mission and a purpose that's bigger than you and your limiting stories and beliefs. So let's get you out of your own way. I'm Jenna Holloway, your host and multi-award-winning intuitive hypnotherapist and mindset coach. Expect to hear game-changing perspective shifts on how to align your subconscious mind with your boldest goals, and will unlock the power of energetics, infusing it into every aspect of your life and business for maximum impact. Are you ready? Then let's dive in. Good evening. I am recording this quite late. It's literally about 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, less than 4 hours until this gets released. And I've purposefully partly left it very late in the day because I have something to share with you all. And it's ready now. And so, my team, shout out to the amazing Emily. She has been working hard to get this live to go out on this episode tonight. So this episode is very relevant because it's sharing with you the feeling that I've had a little bit in my business in the last few days. Is a pattern. Happens about once a month, and I'm a woman, I have a cycle, and I've noticed this repeated pattern happening. And what I call it can't be asked energy. You just get that can't be bothered, and that's okay. So I wanted to do an episode on it because I knew halfway through last week that there weren't any guest episodes ready to go out this week. So I knew I had an unedited episode to do myself. And I don't force ideas. I'm sure if this is not your first episode, you know that by now. I flow in my business. All of my creativity, all of my inspiration comes because I allow it to come. Everything in my business is intuition led. My content creation, podcast episodes, everything. And so when I don't have anything ready, like let's say Wednesday, Thursday last week, I was like, that's fine. I will do an unedited episode and I will wait for the inspiration to drop in. And it didn't drop in. And then the weekend came and I don't tend to work on the weekends. So I was like, that's fine. I've still got all of Monday for something to drop in. And it wasn't really because I'm at this time of the month where I'm bang on day one of my cycle. And around this time, I get this whole lean back. Well, it's not even lean back. It's can't be asked energy. I'm not going to fluff it up and sugarcoat it. It is absolutely can't be asked energy. And it's not this can happen if you're out of alignment with your business or what you're doing doesn't light you up. That can be a signal that you're out of alignment. But for me, I know that I'm not. I am so in alignment with what I'm doing. I love my work so much, and I love it so much. And I know that it's nothing to do with that. It's simply hormones and me listening to my body and not forcing myself ever. I can recognize it for what it is, and to put it in, to call it what it is. It can't be asked energy, and that's okay. I don't make myself feel bad for it. I know, this is why I'm recording this for you, because I want to share with you exactly how I deal with this, so that it doesn't affect me. I don't create resistance around it. And I'm actually going to stop this. I'm going to pause this because I know I've been reading a book lately, and I was on a plane on the way to Dublin a few weeks ago, and I was reading a chapter in this book and I bookmarked it, and I was like, I definitely want to read part of this out in my next podcast episode. And until this very moment, I've forgotten that was a thing. So I'm just going to hit pause. I'm going to go and get the book, find the bit that I want to share with you and read it out. Okay, so on the face of it, what I'm about to share with you might not seem that relevant to this episode, but as I read this book, I just know that I needed to read it out because it explains what I've been sharing in a different way. And I don't know why, I just trust myself. It came through that I need to share it, so I'm going to share it. It's come from a book called Living Untethered by Michael A. Singer. And it's a really, really great book. I'm going to read you parts from chapter 23 called Dance of the Energy Flow. Now, I'm not reading the whole chapter, I've just underlined certain bits. And I will probably stop and ad lib as I go. So here we go. So what I wanted to share with you, it says, if you work on yourself, there will come a time when you fully understand your heart. Now, before I carry on, I just want to explain that whenever you are working or just being as a person, you can there's only two energies to be in, right? There's the energy of expansion or contraction. So the energy of expansion is what it feels like when you feel secure. Your heart center is open, you feel connected, you are in what you might recognize as an abundance mindset. Okay, so you're not worrying about anything in your business, you're just feeling safe and secure. The opposite of that is when your heart center is closed, you're in a contraction energy, and mindset wise, you'll recognize that as feeling anxious, feeling lots of fear, being in scarcity and lack. Okay, so this book then says, if you work on yourself, there will come a time when you fully understand your heart. When you've let go of when you have let go of enough blocked energy patterns, you will begin to experience so much energy flowing inside. There will be a constant upward flow of energy coursing through your entire system. Think of it, and this is me talking, not the book. Think of it like a river, and a river flows. Okay, when you're in alignment, the river can flow, energy can flow. Energy wants to constantly move. Okay, so back to the book, it says, this is when the energy is free to flow, when it is not obstructed by these personal blockages. So that it says that the state of your heart is dependent upon what samskaras are being activated. Now, I must admit, I've never heard of this word samskaras before I read this book. So I'll use the term subconscious pattern, because essentially that's what it is. Okay, it can be a limiting belief, normally a limiting belief. So it's something that you've experienced that now creates resistance in your life as you are experiencing things, and that this will become clear as I carry on reading. So it says, whenever you shove an obstacle into an energy flow, it will create a disturbance in the flow. So it's these disturbances that you experience as emotions, okay, negative emotions. So the more blockages there are, the more complicated the disturbances will come. Eventually, the disturbances will start to hit each other and create very complex patterns of energy. And this is what it's like to live inside ourselves. This is why emotions are so powerful and often complex. Our emotions are triggered. This is me talking, not the book. Our emotions are triggered by our internal belief system. So, experiences that we've had and what we've made those experiences mean about us. And this is why you might have heard me say before, we are experiencing life now through the lens of our past. So, our subconscious mind is constantly filtering our current reality, filtering it through the lens of what have we experienced before, and how should we interpret this present moment based on what we've experienced before. And the reason it does this is to keep you safe. Your subconscious only cares about keeping you safe. Doesn't care about your confidence, your goals, your happiness, none of that. It's only there to keep you safe. And so this is why our emotions can be so off center, or they can be so far away from what we want to feel. It's because we don't have control of our emotions unless we do all of this work to clear all of these blockages. The emotions come up when there is a disturbance in the flow, okay, something that's no longer serving you. So back to the book then, it says, whatever limiting belief or whatever subconscious pattern, remember that word samskara, whatever subconscious pattern is most activated at any given time will determine what is affecting your energy flow the most. Unfortunately, things can get even worse. At some point, enough subconscious patterns can be shoved into the heart that you become so totally blocked, tired, and completely uninspired. Your naturally uplifting energy flow stops supporting you. This is the power of subconscious programming. It totally runs our life. So now you understand why your heart is so sensitive, whether your heart is open or closed, whether you are in an abundance mindset or a fear-based mindset. It depends upon how well the energy can navigate around those blockages. And if there's enough blockages, as I've just said, it will close off. So pay attention to this. Okay. It then goes on to say, when you are experiencing life and your emotions are controlling you, you're not being true to yourself, you're being true to your blockages. And the book says that's all your psyche is. Your psyche is the net result of all of your blockages and how the energy manages to flow through them. As the fluctuations in the energy flow cause your heart to change, your thoughts will change. Okay, and we can end up very, very lost. We can end up, um, we can end up literally holding ourselves back in terms of life choices, because a lot of people live their life around from a place of fear. Okay, not taking the bold action, not doing what their intuition not doing what their heart is telling them to do. So limiting beliefs that are just holding them back. And these limiting beliefs are from the past. They're things that happened to you in your past that you were not able to handle. So you had those experiences. This is me talking again. You had those experiences as a child, and with a child's immature brain, you formed a belief about that experience and what it meant about you and your place in the world. And they are now determining your present, and they determine your future if you're not careful, if you do not do the work to remove these blockages. Okay. So that's all I've underlined. So there you go. That I just thought it's just such a beautiful book. I really wanted to share it. It's called Living Untethered by Michael A. Singer. And it's just underlying so much of the things I say all the time. And so yeah, I wanted to share with you in this episode how I deal with, quote unquote, mindset funks. Because for me, they aren't mindset funks. I do not allow myself to make these mood dips or this like can't be asked energy that I get around my period. I don't allow it to trigger me. I don't allow it to get me stuck in a loop. I don't fight it. I'm a woman. I am not a machine. Okay. So around this time in my cycle, or as women, our bodies deserve rest. Okay. So I'm absolutely not going to have the mindset of powering through, just pushing through. Like I never do that anyway. So I'm definitely not going to do that around day 1 of my cycle, or day 2, day 3, day 4, whatever. It's toxic and it's unsustainable. And we are given messages in society, and certain parts of business coaching. You see a lot of this messaging online about, hustle culture, and you're not going to achieve anything if you don't work your ass off and all the things. Yes, okay. But to me, I completely disagree. I think it's toxic and it's unsustainable. And if you don't listen to your body and its needs, it will make you listen. And you'll end up with health problems that you needn't have. Okay. It's very, very important to take care of your mind and your emotional health, and to have a good relationship with your body and what your body is telling you. It matters so much more than your business. Like it's literally your life, and health is wealth. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So yeah, hope that lands. So what I want to share with you is something that's absolutely incredible to know, and to remember as well. And that is that when you feel an emotion, it actually only lasts 90 seconds. And what I mean by that is the physiological lifespan of an emotion in the body and brain literally only lasts 90 seconds. It comes, it gets stronger, and then it goes. Okay. So when you feel a funk, or when you feel like stuck, in a mood, or just not your best self, basically you had an emotion and your mind hooked onto that emotion and made it last a lot longer than it needed to. So when you know that when you feel an emotion, it's literally only lasting 90 seconds and then it will pass, that empowers you to allow it to only last 90 seconds. Most people don't know this. And so we feel an emotion, we then tell ourselves a story about that emotion, and boom, we grab onto it. We create resistance, and things get a lot harder to bounce back from. It doesn't need to be that way. So and this takes work, what I'm about to share with you, it takes work, takes effort, takes practice, because probably you've lived a lifetime of not knowing this and not doing what I'm about to share. So remember, when you are trying to do something a new way, you have to have a lot of repetition, a lot of consistency to allow that to become your new normal. Okay. So, what you want to do then when you feel a heavy emotion or an emotion that doesn't feel good, you want to first of all notice it without judgment, and then you want to label it. Okay, it might help to do this out loud or just label it in your inner dialogue. I am noticing that I'm feeling irritable now, or whatever it is. It's really important that you don't judge yourself, that you remain as a objective observer, and then you accept it. Okay, I accept that I am feeling this now. Don't try and fight it. So notice, label, and accept it. And then you want to breathe. Okay, focus in on your breathing, and it might help you to say a mantra to yourself, whatever you want, like something like "This too shall pass." And then distract your mind. Okay, it's really important that you distract your mind from whatever it wants to do, because if you do not distract your mind is going to allow the thoughts to create resistance and for that negative emotion to take hold. So what I really like to do, you can just say the mantra over and over again, "This too shall pass," as you breathe. That works. But also, like, I don't do that. What I like to do is to focus in on gratitude, because gratitude is such a powerful emotion, and you cannot have an anxious or an irritable thought and a grateful one at the same time. Like, you literally can't do that. Your mind can only focus on one thing. So gratitude will always win. What are you grateful for? Okay, get back to the now. And then as you breathe, you let that emotion pass. Then something that's really powerful to follow that up with is to do something that's going to release some feel-good chemicals in your body, so that you raise your vibe up, 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 up. So whether that's music, whether that's getting out for a walk, whether that is connecting with a friend, bear in mind, when you are connecting with a friend, do not moan, do not complain, do not talk about things negative. You want to connect with a friend that makes you feel good, brings out the best in you. Whatever it is, okay, just do something that's going to release some feel good chemicals in your body. If you're working and you notice a heavy emotion come over you, for goodness sake, and you do what I've just told you to do, like distract yourself, say the mantra, breathe, and allow those 90 seconds to pass. For goodness sake, don't go straight back to your work. You want to shift your energy. And this works for everything. It's not just, negative emotions. I am very in tune with my body, and I always put myself first. This is what I teach my clients to do as well. And so if I'm noticing when I'm working, if I'm noticing that my energy, my vibe has dipped, and I'm feeling a bit flat, I won't power through that. Like, it's not good for me. That's not me putting myself before my business. And it's absolutely not going to be what's going to keep my creative channel open. Like I said right at the top of this episode, everything that I create in terms of content, client work, like when I'm working with clients, I channel the stuff that I'm sharing comes through. Stuff drops in for me all the time. When I'm creating my content for my programs, all of that, I rely on being connected. And so in order to maintain that connection, you have to have a high vibration. And so when I'm working, I don't power through. I honor myself. I honor my needs. I honor that. Do whatever I need to do to raise my vibe. And so, yeah, put yourself first. And if you worry that you've got so much to do, then time is an illusion. You want to, that's a fear-based thought to think, no, I'm just going to crack on. You want to put yourself first. You want to raise your vibration and notice the effect that has. You'll get inspiration so much more than if you just push and power through. So, with regards to now this episode was inspired by the fact that I've been noticing I feel this like CBA energy around my time of the month, but I think it's probably hopefully going to be useful to you at any point where you feel a bit of a mindset dip, like because apathy or sort of negative, if you're not feeling connected to your business, you're feeling a little bit lost, that can come up for like because of limiting beliefs as well. In my case, it's not, because I've done the work on myself, but it many times it can. And so the advice that I'm going to give you in a moment is hopefully going to help all levels of whenever this strikes for you. Okay, so this is what I tell my clients to do, and they tell me so many times they hear me in their head, coaching them, giving them advice, and that's so important. Basically, they ask themselves, what would Jenna say? And they know what I'll say, and then they go and practice it. And essentially, it's about like, if I simplify it right down, it's literally get out of your head and into your heart. Okay. When you are noticing yourself being triggered, when you are not in control of your emotions, when you are noticing that there are scarcity thoughts coming up, you're not feeling your best self, you're feeling like you're comparing yourself, you're struggling, like, when is this going to happen for me? You're feeling overwhelmed, whatever those things are, whatever story is playing in your mind, that is your sign, green light, to get out of your head and into your heart. Okay. If you're doing, like, I'll share with you what I mean by that in a second, but if you can get out of your head where all of those fear-based thoughts are and into your heart, you allow that connection to come back. And going back to when I shared about the book, when your heart is closed, I mean, when you are thinking all those fear-based thoughts and you're stuck in lack and uncertainty and fear, your heart is closed. There isn't that energy flow going on. So how to get that flow back is to get out of your head and into your heart. I'm going to share with you at the end of this episode a way that you can do that. That actually is something that I have prepared for you, and hence why I'm recording this episode so late, because I really wanted to be able to share the link for this. So I'll keep going with the episode and I'll share what that is at the end. So first of all, get out of your head and into your heart. And that will help you to switch off those thoughts. It won't necessarily turn them off completely, especially if you have spent a long time with a negative inner critic, or a long time living in lack and with limiting beliefs. If you've got a lot of limiting beliefs, that's basically a lot of blockages in the way. And so the best thing for you is to get rid of those limiting beliefs, do the mindset, do the deep work to remove them for good, so that the rocks are removed from the river and the energy can flow and it can feel so much better. So learn as much as you can. If you're in a place where you can invest in mindset support, absolutely amazing. Do that, and find the right person that's going to help you with reprogramming your subconscious mind, because that is the support that you need, not the surface level stuff. Affirmations have a place, but a very, very tiny place, like literally a drop in the ocean. Your subconscious mind is where the powerful transformation is at. So find yourself a coach, ideally me, because I would love to work with you, but maybe I'm not for you if you're listening. It doesn't matter. Find yourself somebody that's going to support you to reprogram your subconscious, because that's where your game-changing shifts are going to happen. So there's that. There's also, actually, I'm going to be real. I'm going to speak from my heart. I do not ever filter myself, but this is an unedited episode. I wish I hadn't have said that because I have my method and it's unique to me and my results are amazing. So I'm not going to downplay myself by saying, go and find somebody else. Like, no, come to me. But whatever, yeah, totally cool. Like, if you want to find somebody else, that is totally cool. But I didn't want to like scoot on past that too quickly because my work is amazing. My testimonials are amazing, and yeah, it's the place to be. If I didn't believe that in myself, then I wouldn't be very good at what I did. So I just wanted to add that in there. Moving on, remind yourself of how good you are. Okay, in order for you to bounce back from self-doubt or you have to be behind yourself. You have to 100% believe in yourself. And so sometimes for those days where you're having a wobble, remind yourself of how good you are. Look at your testimonials and practice gratitude for yourself, gratitude for your skill set. Like, you have the opportunity to change people's lives. That's incredible. Like, have so much gratitude for that, because that's amazing. If you have provided a life-changing transformation for people, what a gift. What a gift to be here alive and they have the opportunity to do that. Not everybody has that. Well, everybody does have that. Okay, everybody has a soul mission and a soul's purpose, but not everybody knows that. And so not everybody is in a position to do the work that it takes to bring that to life. There's many people out there, I'm not going to go off too much off on a tangent, but there's many people out there living their lives in a very, very misaligned way, feeling so much like not feeling joy, not feeling fulfilled. And it's because of their own limiting beliefs. And yeah, they just hold themselves back. And yeah, I'm not going to go off down a rabbit hole there. It is what it is. I just want you to remind yourself of how good you are and practice gratitude for who you are, your skill set, your ability to change people's lives. That in itself is incredible. Remember, you cannot be in fear and grateful at the same time. Like, you literally, your heart center can't be open and closed at the same time. You can't have the energy of expansion and contraction at the same time. So what are you going to choose? You're going to choose expansion. You're going to choose gratitude. You're going to choose an open heart every single time, right? You have to practice this for it to feel like it's your default. But believe me, it can be. With enough inner work and subconscious reprogramming to get rid of your limiting beliefs, you can get to a place where you feel so good. And you do not worry. Like, you live 99% of your life with your heart open and abundant and trusting yourself. It's incredible. And I am the end result of where I get my clients to. And it's amazing. So next one is to plan for times like this. Plan in for the CBA energy. And this is fairly new to me, but I have started to batch my content and it's amazing. I'm ahead of myself. I'm not flying by the seat of my pants in my business anymore. And so I'm like, I don't know how much it is now. I'm going on holiday soon, so I've batched further ahead than I need to. But it's great. I've got 2 weeks worth of content ready to go. So try to batch content for times like this. Have something in the pipeline so that you can stay consistent when your energy takes a dip, or when you just need to give yourself a little bit of space. And remember to make things easy for yourself as well. Repurpose, repurpose, repurpose. And that's okay to do that. Your audience needs to hear your message over and over and over again. So you don't have to make everything from scratch. And so, yeah, you can turn a reel into a post into a reel. You can recycle a post from, I don't know, 3-4 months ago, just switch up the image. Make life easy for yourself. Have stuff ready in the pipelines for when you have energy dips like this. And the next thing I want to say is that don't wait until you experience a dip to start to bring the self-care out and to start practicing gratitude and starting to install the positive mindset. Be proactive rather than reactive. Okay, you will create so much more stability in yourself and at your core if you practice these things day in, day out. Self-care, putting yourself before your business, practicing gratitude. Remember, we get more of what we are, not what we want. So the universe is not going to give you your dreams and the things that you want if you're not grateful for what you already have. It's not the way it works. We get what we're an energetic match for. So if you're an energetic match for lack, because you're always focusing on what you've not got and what's going wrong, then you're just going to get more of that. So bring gratitude into your life. Allow yourself to feel gratitude for the things that most people take for granted. You wake up, celebrate that. You can breathe without feeling pain. You can walk. Celebrate that. You can see yourself in the mirror. Be grateful for that. And if you feel like you want a bit of support with gratitude, read the book The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. That I read during when I was really struggling with infertility and basically living life with a black cloud over my head. I was a very different person to who I am now. And that book changed my life, changed the game for me in so many ways. And so, yeah, gratitude is at the heart of it. It's bring gratitude to the forefront of everything you do. And that in itself is a game changer. But yeah, be proactive with your self-care, with your gratitude, with your positive mindset. Be proactive with all of that, and you'll stand yourself in a much stronger stead for times when you experience this, what I'm calling can't be asked energy around your period. But you might experience it at any point, and it's fine. But hopefully the tips I have shared with you have been useful. Now, I have mentioned or alluded to the fact that there is something available for you right now, and I am so excited to bring this to you. There is, first of all, the opportunity for you to download the exact hypnosis track that one of my one-to-one clients used that took her from really hustling and working so hard to hit 10K months in her business, not being able to break through with limiting beliefs, causing her to create so much struggle and hustle and anxiety in her business, to doubling that, to creating consistent 20K months with ease and flow in her business. I'm releasing this exact track with her permission and with her name removed, of course. I'm releasing this exact track, and it's available at a super low first time price of £11. This is worth so much more, but I'm releasing it now, and it's available to you for £11. The link to buy this is in the show notes. And heads up, there is a little order bump that's available too. For an extra £5, you can download a bounce back from scarcity meditation. What this is what I was talking about earlier about getting out of your head and into your heart. This 5-minute meditation brings you away from scarcity, lack, and overwhelm, out of your head and into your heart. So you have access to that 5-minute track to listen to whenever you feel that. So those two things are available right now, and you can access them in the show notes. And I'm super excited to share this with you. If you are a current client of mine, you do not need to purchase. Watch out for an email. There will be a coupon code for you that you can have this for free as my gift to you for being grateful that you're in my world. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Bigger Than You podcast with your host, Jenna Holloway.
If this episode has been valuable to you, please share it with a friend or leave a review.